Knockout legends in the building. Like, comment, and subscribe. So today I want to talk about the Day of Reckoning card and what did we learn from the Day of Reckoning. So I've already done post-fight reviews on a number of the fights. Any of the other fights that I still have outstanding, I'll do. But my first initial thoughts from the whole thing. Makhmudov was stiff like the zombie in the promo and in Kabiel's masterclass. Kabiel just basically showed why he's European champion, showed why certain people probably wanted to fight him, and it probably shows why a lot of people haven't fought him, because obviously he's a mover, he can box, and he can cause trouble for anyone. Well, ask Derek. Derek knows. So anyway, from this, I wouldn't mind seeing Kabiel versus Wallin, because Wallin, for all everyone's 2 pence of what he was going to do to Joshua, it was just a misnomer. You could actually see from the press conference and like the face-to-face and the last face-to-face after the weigh-in, how Wallin was trying to get in his mind. I think that was the only way he could actually try to like beat Joshua, if he could psychologically get in his mind and make him feel like what everyone else has made him feel, that lack of confidence, that piling on the pressure, that the media circus jumping on the bandwagon, people like Carl Froch, people like other people that have got stuff to say, Dev Sani, or Jam Sani I should say, that's his nickname. Just in general, the typical bias what a lot of the public have when for some reason they don't like Joshua. No one actually even gives a reason why they don't like him, because he's not knocking people out like how he was. They just don't like him anymore. And they like Fury, when before they used to hate Fury and they love Joshua. Now the tables have turned. But we kind of know why. We know why. But anyway, my prediction for Wallin was bang on. I knew Wallin wouldn't win. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's not a good fighter, a good mover, a good boxer, but there's levels to boxing. Gassiev is not anti-Joshua. Gassiev got in with Joshua. Joshua would knock him out. Simple as. Don't get me wrong. Gassiev is what he is. He's a blown-up cruiserweight. He's not even on Usyk's level, Gassiev. So to actually compare that difference is it's like apples and oranges. It don't really make sense. And I'm not slagging Gassiev and saying he's a rubbish fighter, because he is a good fighter. It's just the size, the power, and the division. It's different. And just another thing to quickly note. I'm going to do another video, and Ben Davison says that he wouldn't mind training Joshua to get the Usyk fight and get that right, because he says he could actually train Joshua to deal with Usyk and get the fight right and get his tactics right to beat Usyk, just so he could avenge it, so that little bit of stain on his resume can kind of get rectified. Because from the way he beat Wallin, I think there is case that he could beat Usyk, and because we've seen Daniel go to the body and work the body, and we know Usyk's a little bit weak downstairs in the basement, I think Joshua, if he uses his reach like he did with Wallin, and uses the straight right and uses the right hook like he was doing, and goes with the body shots as well, and just keeps that distance against Usyk, I think he can beat him, because he's the more superior, bigger guy. It's just he can't get drawn into a boxing match with him, in the sense that he's always waiting for Usyk to react. He's got to be sure in what he's doing and just do what he's doing, regardless of what Usyk does, and just use his superior power and just bully him and break him down like he did Wallin. Because the double jabs were excellent. The actual feint and then the jab, and the quick snap with the jab, then like the rolling of the head, and then throwing the straight right. Whew, deadly. But anyway, spot on with the tactics for Ben Davison. The Wilder debacle, where Parker had a brilliant renaissance under Andy Lee and had a boxing masterclass, kind of we kind of saw the Parker of old, but with a lot more aggression and a lot more confidence. We're letting his hands go. If Parker had done this in the Dillian Whyte and the Joshua fight, we may have seen a different outcome, because in both fights, one of the fights, Whyte headbutted Parker and he never recovered from that. But then he dropped Whyte in the last round and could have actually beat Whyte as well. He could have knocked him out. So there was that. And then obviously the Joshua fight was a bit weird because the referee kept breaking him up when they were fighting on the inside and wouldn't let them fight on the inside, which is weird as well. So, but Parker's actually can fight pretty good on the inside, as we saw in the Andy Ruiz fight. So I think them two little stains on his career and them little blips there kind of show that what Parker has in his class. And now that he's with Andy Lee and he's got this newfound confidence, and obviously he's with Tyson Fury and he's kind of doing more, we kind of getting to see the Parker that we should have saw. And I still rate the fight that he had with Joe Joyce. That was a barnstorm of that, because he actually threw everything at the kitchen sink at Joyce, and Joyce was actually a bit shocked. You know what I mean? But it was a good fight. Do you know what I mean? And I wouldn't be surprised if that the punches he took kind of degraded his chin a little bit with the Zhang, when he had the Zhang fight. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes when you believe the hype too much, it can be down to your own detriment. Hence the loss by Zhang, both losses by Zhang. But anyway, Wilder kind of let himself down. He was a bit passive aggressive in the fact that he talked that much shit when he didn't see Joshua, when he was getting interviewed. But when he was in the press conference, he was nice as pie. But obviously he wanted to sell the fight and keep Joshua sweet and get the fight. And again, Joshua, to his credit, didn't slate him when he could have slated him at the end of his win. He didn't. He just kept the door open again for the win. Now, we've heard that, because I did another video on it, that the fight was already signed before their respective fights. So there was a kind of a bit of anticipation in the fact that, maybe a bit of arrogance in the fact that they thought they would both win their respective fights. Now, a lot of people were saying the Parker-Wilder fight should have been the main card. And to some extent, I kind of agree, because it was the better fight out of the two. But the Wallin fight versus Joshua was a good fight as well. But obviously, for me, the outcome kind of was already known before the actual fight, regardless of what people want to say. Do you know what I mean? A lot of them people are just not real proper boxing fans. A lot of them are kind of race hater fans, to be honest. So that's that. But anyway, moving on, Dubois expelled the demons of his previous losses to Joyce and Usyk, and by pummeling Miller into submission, it kind of raises a question, which we already kind of know. Without his magic pills, he's not all that, and his engine was lacking. But what do you expect when you weigh 35 pounds and you're just coming forward? We saw what happened to Adam Kawanaki when he went up against Helenius. He just got pummeled, because that style of fighting is good if you can duck punches and you can bob and weave like you're Smoking Joe and you've got strength. But if you haven't, what ends up happening is you just get knocked out like Smoking Joe did when he fought against Foreman. Because the bigger, stronger man can deal with that movement and the power. He'll just basically pummel you and just knock you out. He tailor-made for him. Do you know what I mean? So it just depends. You know what I mean? But styles make fights, as we saw when Muhammad Ali beat Foreman, because obviously he used a rope-a-dope and tired Foreman out and then knocked him out. So there's that in that. But anyway, what I thought is that Wilder should fight Miller to see, what's what. And it could be an interesting fight, because Wilder could knock him out because he's there to be hit. Also, Miller is tough and he can take a lot of punishment, and he took a lot of punishment from Triple D, but that's the first time he's been stopped. But that's because he's got no PEDs. But obviously, if Miller keeps coming forward, that will kind of nullify Wilder's right hand, because he needs to have space to throw it. But Wilder can actually move a lot quicker than Miller. So it's a case of, if he tires Miller out enough, they will get a point where he will be able to cock the right hand and he'll be able to throw it. But Miller would have to be able to manhandle him and physically bully him to actually stop him from throwing the right hand. But that would be interesting to see, because obviously Miller's talked crap about Wilder before, but he eased up in a press conference, innit? But like, that's another fight that could actually get made and probably redeem both the Americans anyway, because the Americans on the card didn't really do too well. But anyway, moving on, I think also Dubois should fight Parker, because that would be an interesting fight, because he's strong, and obviously he did give Joyce a run for his money, but obviously Joyce just used a jab and just out-jabbed Dubois and just mashed up his eye. So it'd be interesting to see if Parker could deal with Dubois, and what would happen if they got into a firefight. But also, anyway, because we know now that Joshua's gonna probably fight for the IBF title against Hrgovic. That should be an entertaining fight. Hrgovic, he dealt with Demore with ease, which I knew he would anyway. He had no business being in the ring, Demore. I'm not being wicked, but like, the last time he fought anyone decent was David Hay, and that was a long time ago. So I don't even know where they dug Demore up from. Flipping heck, I didn't even know he still boxed. The guy's, what, 40 odd? You know what I mean? Rest up, man. You need to take a rest. But anyway, moving on, I think Wallin was a bit overrated, but I think he should fight Sanchez, because they're both movies. Sanchez dispatched Farr pretty easy, but I kind of felt sorry for Junior Farr, because I think that was his chance to actually bring himself back on to like a decent stage to get in with the other heavyweights and get in the mix, because like getting hurt 3 times and then finally getting stopped in the 7th, it just kind of shows you the decline now, because of the punishment he's taking, that he's not going to actually get where he needs to get. But there's levels to boxing, and if you couldn't have beat Parker when you had the chance, then you know, it is what it is. But a lot of people were saying that was a close fight, and they kind of were saying Junior Farr won that fight and Parker won it, again, because it was in New Zealand and he was the favourite. But the same thing was said about the Ruiz fight when Ruiz fought Parker, and I still agree with that. I think Ruiz won that fight. I think New Zealand, the New Zealand coaches, I mean judges, robbed him. They robbed Ruiz, but that's my opinion. And I heard that as well, that one of the heads of boxing in New Zealand was ashamed and quit because he knew it was a robbery and that Ruiz should have won, because obviously Kiwi, the proud people. So I don't know, but anyway, I don't know if it's true. But anyway, moving on, the next thing I should say is I think Dillian White should also fight Miller so they can settle the grudge if he comes back innocent from the PED accusations. And we're hearing, well, I did hear a little bit because I did a video about it, that there is a little bit of good news about that, and maybe he will actually start boxing again, because I think it was, I think he said April, was it April he may be able to come back, but he'll speak to Eddie Hearn. But I don't think Eddie wants to work with him. From his body language and what he was saying, he's just not 100% sure. But also, the other fight that we should see as well is White versus Wilder, because the build-up to that fight would be spectacular, and all the trash talk, and obviously him apparently and allegedly sleeping with Wilder's ex-wife. I mean, Wilder's wife that he's with now. There's that bit of bad blood, but obviously if White had already done what he'd done before he met her, then it's not really White's fault. It is what it is. But again, Wilder always has these mad beefs with people, don't he? You know what I mean? Because remember when I had that beef with Billy Joe Saunders, and then he was chasing Billy Joe Saunders out of the restaurant because Billy Joe Saunders was giving him stick. That was funny. And then I think that's when Fury stepped in and kind of stuck up for Billy Joe Saunders, innit? So, you know what I mean? But anyway, they're my final thoughts on the Day of Reckoning and all the fights that went ahead. And also, just a quick note, I just want to say, valiant effort by Lyndon Arthur. I think he stepped up too much of a level, but to go 12 rounds with Bivol and survive and not get knocked out and not get stopped, he did well. He did well, you know, because Canelo didn't do as well as that. But anyway, a little bit of a big jump too soon. They kind of shouldn't have let him go up just yet. He should have probably fought somebody else before he fought Bivol, but obviously it's about taking your chance when you get your chance. A bit gutted for him, but it is what it is. He'll come again. So anyway, tell me your thoughts, your final thoughts on the Day of Reckoning, and leave your comments in the comment section. Like, comment, and subscribe. And that is another one from Knockout Legends. Peace.